He was talking about renewing our vows on a beach in Italy while the hidden folder on his phone played silently beside his coffee, proof of a life he never planned to invite me into. I didn't scream. I didn't drop the mug. I just stood there, listening to him describe next year like it was a promise, while the distance between us finally learned how to speak. I'm 41. I teach environmental science at a community college in Santa Cruz. I've spent my career explaining slow erosion, how water reshapes rock not by force but by repetition. I didn't realize I was living the example. We'd been married 12 years. Together 14. Long enough to know when a kiss becomes ceremonial. Long enough to stop asking certain questions because the answers never change. He used to sit with me in the mornings. Coffee, bare feet on cool tile, the day still unclaimed. Somewhere along the way, mornings became his time. Phone angled away. Headphones in. A nod instead of a conversation. The vow renewal idea came out of nowhere, or so it seemed. Next year, he said, stirring sugar he never used to take. Just us. A reset. I smile because that's what you do when someone offers you hope shaped like nostalgia. The phone discovery wasn't dramatic. No lock safe. No password hunt. I was backing up photos for a family album. He'd left the phone on the counter. Notifications silenced. A new folder appeared when I scrolled. Untitled. Blank icon. Inside were screenshots. Messages. Short videos with sound turned off. Women I didn't recognize laughing into cameras not meant for me. Hotel mirrors. Captions cropped to avoid names. It wasn't porn. It was curated. Personal. Organized by dates. What broke me wasn't the content. It was the care. I closed the folder. Plugged the phone back in. Sat at the table and waited for my hands to stop shaking. They didn't. That night I asked him if we were okay. He smiled gently. Of course. Why wouldn't we be? I told him I'd found the folder. The smile stayed for half a second too long. Then it vanished like he'd been interrupted mid-performance. It's nothing, he said. Just stuff from before. Before when? I asked. He looked at the ceiling, calculating. Before it mattered. That's when the cold arrived. I asked if he'd been meeting them. Sometimes, he said. Not apologetic. Efficient. I asked if he loved me. He exhaled. Love is a big word. I reminded him of Italy. The vows. That was for you, he said. You like symbols. The room felt suddenly instructional, like I was being taught something I should have known. I asked him why he kept it hidden. Because you wouldn't understand, he said. And because your feelings don't matter to me the way they used to. There it was. The sentence that didn't bruise. It clarified. I slept on the couch. Watched the ceiling fan count time. Around dawn I felt the collapse. Not loud, not cinematic. Just the quiet realization that I'd been maintaining a marriage alone. That I'd mistaken endurance for intimacy. The turning point wasn't brave. It was practical. I stopped asking questions. Stopped monitoring his moods. Stopped trying to make my presence lighter so it would be tolerated. I packed a bag with the calm efficiency I teach my students when collecting samples. Label, record, move on. When he asked where I was going, I told him I needed space. For how long? He asked. As long as it takes to remember who I am, I said. He didn't follow. He didn't fight. He nodded like a man relieved of a role he'd outgrown. I moved into a small rental near the cliffs. The fog there is honest. It doesn't pretend to be sunshine. Mornings were quiet. Evenings quieter. I cooked for one. Walked without destination. Let the ache exist without narrating it. We separated without spectacle. Divided books. Gave away furniture. Friends asked careful questions. I answered carefully. The justice wasn't exposure. It wasn't regret. It was realizing I didn't need to be renewed like a contract. I needed to be chosen in real time. Months later he emailed about Italy. Asked if I wanted the deposit refunded. I wrote back one sentence. I don't need symbols anymore. Here's what I learned, and I hope you hear it before erosion does its work on you. If someone plans ceremonies while hiding realities, believe the realities. Love doesn't require folders. Commitment doesn't live in the future tense. Boundaries aren't ultimatums. They're the edges that keep you from disappearing. You don't have to burn the past to walk away from it. Sometimes dignity is simply closing a folder and choosing daylight.